morning. Welcome into First Take. Stephen A. Smith. We got Peter Schrager, Paul Finebaum, Amina Smith here with you. Jeff Saturday will join us in just a bit. Look, I heard you're going to be at Monday Night Football. I want to know what the fit is going to look like because it's going to be cold now.
Yeah,
I never seen Stephen A. in a cold fit.
I never swagged in the cold weather. You know, I never showed my swag in the cold weather. This is a little bit different. I was just informed I'm going to be on Monday Night Countdown, so I'm looking forward to it. But I got to think about my wardrobe right there. The weather's not going to be warm.
Look, we got to go full Frank Lucas, though. Full Frank Lucas.
I can't do the chinchilla. I can't do the chinchilla. Come on now, I mean, I can't do the chinchilla.
Oh my
I can't do that.
I love it. I can't wait to see it on Monday night.
I'll figure it out.
Stephen A. in Pittsburgh, I love this.
Right? Exactly.
It
sounds right.
Terrible towels, the whole thing. Myron Cope, we going?
They better handle their business while I'm there. I know that much.
Look at that to get you out in the cold. They better be handling their business.
They better.
All right, guys, let's get to college football. We're just 2 days away from the start of the college football semifinals. 6th-ranked Ole Miss will meet 10th-ranked Miami in the Fiesta Bowl on Thursday, while the top-ranked team in the land, the Indiana Hoosiers, will face off against number 5 Oregon in the Peach Bowl. That's also a rematch from earlier in the regular season where Indiana got the best of the Ducks on the road 30-20. According to DraftKings Sportsbook, Indiana has the shortest odds to win the national championship at plus 130. Meanwhile, Miami and Oregon have the second and third shortest odds respectively, while Ole Miss has the highest odds at plus 600 to win the CFP. Okay, so we have no Alabama, no Notre Dame, no Ohio State in the college football playoffs. So, Paul, I got to start with you. Is it a big deal that there are no powerhouses in this semifinal?
I think in many ways, I mean, it's a positive thing. I mean, when you go back 10 years ago, and we had Alabama and Clemson literally playing just about every year for the national championship. Then you add in Ohio State, a little bit of Georgia, and it just got fairly routine. And now, again, you don't know how this is going to work out. But I think for this year, especially with the sideline stories, Indiana is the most incredible story maybe in college football history. Ole Miss is a Cinderella story of a coach who gets knocked out. Miami, Cinderella as well, considering what they've had to do. So I really do believe this is good. I don't think this will happen every year. This is a one-off, but I think it's very positive right now.
Let me tell you something right now. I think it's a very good thing. First of all, let's get this out of the way. Indiana is a powerhouse. They've been a powerhouse the last 2 years, and they didn't beat Alabama. They kicked their ass, okay? I mean, that was a romp. Put Paul Finebaum on the screen when I say that. They kicked their, I mean, what the hell happened to Alabama? I mean, my God. I mean, you wouldn't have recognized them. I mean, Bear Bryant turnover's great. I mean, Nick Saban is sitting up there alive and turning over. I mean, because he picked them to win the game. I mean, my goodness, I've never seen Nick Saban so wrong in my life. It's just a shocker, okay? Nobody expected that, but they stomped them. They romped them. And oh, by the way, have you seen that defensive line of Miami and how they get at you and how they got that catch? So I'm looking at this and I'm saying, wait a minute here. Let's say I'm gonna tell you why it's not that big of a deal. And I understand. Listen, let me give some insight. Yeah. I think I don't know this. I'm guessing, but it's an educated guess because I have been in this place for over 20 years. You understand what I'm saying? I mean, I think that you have people that have trepidation about these teams that are in. Get over it. I'm talking to the honchos at ESPN. Get over it. That you ain't got nothing to worry about. It's storylines everywhere. It's storylines. I mean, Chambliss. Ole Miss, you got Beck. What you gonna do? You transfer from Georgia. What you gonna do? Don't make no mistakes, David. Don't let it be you. Don't let it be you. Okay, make sure don't let it be you. You got Miami and that defense, offensive line, punching people around, knocking people around. You got Indiana, which is clearly the best team in the nation right now. You got Oregon with Dan Lanning and how he motivates his players and what they're capable of. You got 2 quarterbacks that are expected to go 1 and 2 in the NFL draft. Amazing. There's a whole bunch of storylines. I mean, don't let your heart get worried about this one. The teams in the Final Four, you got a bunch of good stories, all right, with ballers. And I think it's good. To me, listen, Georgia, I respect the hell out of Kirby Smart. We saw what happened to them. Don't get me started with Alabama. Oh, what an embarrassment and a disgrace. I mean, Kalen DeBoer, maybe you should have called Michigan. You should have called Michigan and said, hold the damn job. Don't sit up there and call Whittingham in Utah. Wait for me. That's what he should have done after what happened. He should have saw it coming, okay? I'm telling you right now, the storylines with this Final Four I love it. And I'm looking forward to Thursday and Friday's matchups.
Indiana called off the dogs on Alabama
Yes.
at the Rose Bowl.
That's crazy.
If Rohan Hemby, the Indiana running back, might have just scored another touchdown if they didn't take him out of the game. That's how bad it was. And Paul, you were right on Clemson, Alabama, Georgia. Here at ESPN, it might have been celebrated. Outside of the Southeast, there are people saying, all right, I guess that's what everyone, that's what
They missing it. This is going to be a big weekend.
This Indiana story is national. This Signetti is a superstar. And you start talking about the different stuff that you were hitting on, Stephen A. Quarterbacks 1 versus 2 in the draft. There's an NFL element to this where everyone who's an NFL draft fan is tuned in. And then you've got this Ole Miss story where Lane Kiffin is talking about Ole Miss like it's the little brother. Meanwhile, they're in the Final Four and the rest of the SEC is watching from home. I absolutely love this. And if you're wondering about TV ratings and sports business and kind of the stuff that the sports fan usually doesn't care about, 8 million more people watch the Rose Bowl than Game 7 of the NBA Finals. And that Rose Bowl was Fernando Mendoza and Kirk Signetti with that look. I'll be watching both of these games. I'm not sure I was last year. And they were national powers. Ohio State, Texas, Notre Dame, Penn State. Do I have some clinging memory to that college football playoff? 4 national powers.
Right.
Not really.
No. Listen, here's the thing. The story, the outside story looking at, meaning the least appeal, is Oregon. Of the 4.
Yeah.
And we know Oregon's big time.
Yeah.
So think about that for a second here. You got a better story right now with Ole Miss. You got a great story brewing with Indiana, okay? I'm just looking at them right now and I'm saying, and Miami. Because you can't help this. And let's give credit. And listen, Michael Irvin, calm your ass down. Get a haircut. I keep telling you, get a haircut, Michael Irvin.
Leave that man alone.
Michael Irvin, that's my brother. I can say that. Y'all can't say it. I can say that. That's my brother. Get a damn haircut.
He's in incredible shape, though.
Get a haircut, okay? And outside of that, don't be pulling out no belts, whipping coolers, all right? Don't do that, all right? Calm the hell down. Outside of that, Michael Irvin, Ray Lewis, Ed Reed, they had every game. They had every game. The crew is there, and they're reminding you of the heyday of Miami. If Miami finds a way to win the national championship, could you imagine what that's going to do for college football? I see storylines all over the place. I'm loving it. I have no problem whatsoever with the fact that Alabama and Georgia is out of it because Ole Miss took it. Georgia didn't give it to them. They took it, okay? And Chambliss can ball, all right? And we have to understand that. I'm looking at this. I'm like, I ain't got no problems with this. Nobody else have any problems with it. I'm looking forward to it. And I think the ratings will show it. America, you need to watch college football this weekend.
Look, I'm fired up. I'm fired up. As a Miami alum, I'll tell you right now, Michael Irvin, he don't need to stop taking the belt out. We need the belt out every single game. We need the belt out every single game. Okay, he don't need to calm down. That's exactly what we need in Miami. Let's talk about the SEC. 4-9 in bowl play so far. Paul, I'll go to you. Is the SEC dominance over as we know it?
I mean, I'm under contract to disagree with you, but I don't really care about the contract. Yes. I mean, I have been on that hill, Stephen A., and I am getting destroyed. There's no way to defend the SEC. It's been terrible. Now, I'm sure somebody at the SEC office is whispering, "Hey, don't forget, Ole Miss could win it all," and that would solve some of the wounds. But this has been a long year for the SEC, and I think in the end, because I kept wrapping my arms around Alabama and saying, "Stephen A., did you remember what they did? They went through that gauntlet in the middle of the year." Well, a lot of those teams they beat really weren't very good after all. They lost in bowl games and they looked terrible. So it's a rough year for the SEC. Ole Miss is it. Regardless of the Lane Kiffin story, which I know we're going to talk about, but there's no if Ole Miss loses Thursday night, and I'm sitting around having to defend this league to you, Stephen A., saying, "Oh, no big deal that it's 3 straight years without an SEC team in the national championship game." I mean, there's no defense. Well, it's been rough.
It has been rough, and it's been very, very bad. But there's several reasons here. Number one, the reigning, defending national champions over the last 2, or last year it was obviously Ohio State. Year before that it was Michigan. It's on the verge of being Indiana. If Indiana wins this, that's 3 straight years. It's not just that the SEC hasn't won; it's that one specific conference has won with 3 different teams. That is not good for the SEC in terms of talk about supremacy. That's number one. Number two, back to Alabama. You know, when you end the season getting your ass kicked, that's bad. It's very, very bad. But it's even worse when you're reminded that they started the season getting their butts whipped. When Florida State beat them. Okay? So the aura of invincibility was shredded week one. It's what, listen, Nick Saban didn't win every year. You know, he's gotten upset. The Iron Bowl against Auburn, other losses that have taken place. You know what happened. But the point is, you've seen a level of dominance from Alabama with Nick Saban, and the loss was an aberration. We walk into weeks expecting Alabama to lose. You understand that Kalen DeBoer has lost 8 games in 2 years? You understand that Nick Saban didn't lose 8 games in his last 4 years combined? Wow. Listen, I have been on this tip for a while. I did not say, see, because the doggy will go on the show or he'll come in there. Kalen DeBoer is a good coach. I'm sorry.
He's a good coach.
He's a good coach.
Come on. He might not be Alabama.
That's what he does.
The standard is so high. The standard is so high in Alabama.
But what I'm saying is this. Everybody can't be Nick Saban.
Right.
I totally understand that. Uncle Paulie, as Cam affectionately calls Paul Finebaum, Uncle Paulie. He gets that. We understand it.
It's a different time in college football with NIL. I mean, this Cody Campbell comes along, and Texas Tech is instantly a power because he's a billionaire oil man who can pay all these players top dollar. They have the best defense money could buy. That's from the movie Blue Chips, which I love.
That's right.
They have these players.
Nick Nolte,
Great Nick Nolte.
Penny Hardaway,
Coach
the whole
Pete
crew.
Bell. I love it.
No doubt.
They got the best defense money can buy. Well, Texas Tech overnight said we're going to go from the air raid Cliff Kingsbury thing to now having David Bailey and these amazing pass rushers because we're going to buy them from all over the country. Carson Beck purchased by Miami. Bryce Underwood was at LSU, was supposed to be the freshman of the year. And then Larry Ellison comes in and says, actually, we're going to pay you X amount of dollars. We'll just buy you and put you at Michigan. It's the great equalizer. So as much as we love the nostalgia of the Crimson Tide and Georgia and what we had at LSU down at Baton Rouge, it's a capitalistic economy right now in college football, and it's a players' league. So even Indiana, as warm as this is,
right.
They bought Mendoza from Cal. This is a league where now you can buy the players, you can give them the money, and that does not care about tradition and SEC and conference play. Who's got the money?
That's
I'll
true.
go there.
If the landscape has changed.
Hold on. Paul, help me out here. Is Alabama broke? Is Georgia broke?
They broke, but they're not in the Final Four.
They used to get the blue chip.
What are you talking about?
Keep them.
Go ahead, Paul. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Here's the difference, though. They're not broke. But if you go back 10 years ago or 7 or 8 years ago, Nick Saban's backups were first-round picks after the starters moved on. They don't have that anymore. They don't have the depth because those backup players are saying, I'm not sitting around here. I'm going to Indiana. I'm going wherever I can get the money. And this is why Nick Saban 2 years ago got out, because he saw it. He knew that even his last year or two, Stephen A. and Peter and Amina, it was starting to get more difficult. But he was such a great coach, he was able to overcome it. But Kalen DeBoer can't overcome it. And the thing that bothered me, just to put the bow on the Alabama game, I've covered Alabama football for 45 years. That's the most embarrassing moment I've ever seen. And what was worse is Alabama gave up. I mean, they were waving the white flag. That game could have been 60-3. Kalen DeBoer kicked a field goal in the second half, down by 4 touchdowns, because he didn't want the goose egg. I mean, I think he's a good coach. I think he's a nice guy, but he has no credibility right now as the Alabama coach.
Zero credibility. Damn good coach. But there are good coaches, and then there are great next-level coaches. He ain't on that level. And he has shown that, okay? And by the way, I'm getting sick and tired. I'm not saying you're wrong, Peter. I'm not saying you're wrong, Paul, in terms of NIL. I got that part. But damn it, you mentioned a few players. It's football. It's got 11 players on the field on offense. You got 11 players on the field on defense. You got special teams. You got how many cats on a college roster? They ain't getting everybody now.
But there's nuance. There's nuance in college football.
There used to be a time where Nick Saban would walk in
and everybody,
I'm not
exactly.
Listen to the way I'm going. I understand that parity kicks in because of that.
Yes.
Not ass kicking. That's a difference.
Yikes.
And when Paul Finebaum, Uncle Paulie, accurately points out that they quit, I mean, do you understand? If you're Derrick Henry, you understand? If you're anybody,
Mark Ingram,
if you're anybody that played at Alabama, you were ashamed of those dudes. You were ashamed. I mean, like literally, they should have taken off their jersey. They should have hid their names. They should have put a towel and made sure they covered, who the hell they were. Kept their helmets on and hide their identity. I hope they watch it right now. You should be ashamed of your damn selves. Not because of the ass kicking, because you gave up. You gave up. I mean, they literally waved the white flag. You don't see that at Alabama. We ain't seen that in 20 years at Alabama. And that's the difference. That's not about NIL. I'm not talking NIL. An elite player and depth.
Yeah.
That's what you're talking about. But the quality starters, nah, you got enough of them. Georgia's got enough. We didn't see Georgia. Georgia lost. Georgia didn't wave no white flag. Georgia competed.
Came all the way back.
They didn't wave no white flag. They just lost. All right? Ole Miss got the better of them. You got some players. They made they made plays. But you didn't wave a white flag. We didn't see that from Georgia all year. You don't see that from Kirby Smart. That's where Kalen DeBoer is hurt, is really, really getting hurt. Because we're seeing a team that just looks softer and weaker and without that intestinal fortitude that we're accustomed to seeing from the Crimson Tide. Alabama football has been a disgrace in that regard in big moments. I'm not talking about overall, not their record, but moments. Disgraceful. Am I lying, Paul? Am I lying? And by the way, can you find an Alabama fan right now who would disagree with me? You don't show up like that. That's you know what Alabama was the other night against Indiana? It was. Are you ready for this? I'm gonna use a boxing analogy. It was the equivalent of Mike Tyson versus Bruce Seldon. Remember when Bruce Seldon went into the ring, got knocked out in the first round, and didn't get hit, Paul? Didn't get hit. Mike Tyson's punch woofed by him. It missed. And he went down and stayed down until the count of 10 and got up and hugged Mike Tyson and went and got his money. That's how Alabama looked against Indiana.
Yeah.
That is disgraceful. No excuse. SEC, shut your mouth and pray and hope that Ole Miss salvages your conference right now. You look bad.
Yeah, look, 30.
You look bad.